Hi everyone, it's Chenzo from Reality Art Pod, here to talk about Week three's Sunday nominations episode of Big Brother 28. Last time on Big Brother, Devin's HOH came to an end, with Jason saving himself in the blockbuster. Then, players said hit the road, Jack, when Rome was evicted by a vote of 12 to 1. Before I dive in, links in the description to my playlist to catch up on my recaps and rankings. If you like the content, consider liking, subscribing, and commenting what you thought of the episode. But let's dive into it. Following Rome's eviction, players wonder who voted to keep Rome and evict Melody. It was Taylor, but Taylor's not saying anything about it. Lyric worries that she's going to get this pinned on her, telling us she's going to have to fight for herself this whole game. But everyone believes Lyric is telling the truth. Angela thinks someone else is trying to start trouble. Taylor tells us she didn't come here to vote with the house. She voted for Rome to stay because she likes him and just wanted to throw him a bone so he didn't feel alone. Barrett is hyper aware that he was the last one asked into the Toolshed Alliance. He and Drew are aligned in not being loyal to their cause. Melody and Mallory are impressed with Jason. They think he may not really be just a drag queen. Mallory feels the other players are playing like they're at Disneyland, and Disneyland is over. Angela gets some relief. Her punishment is over. Angela gets hatched, allowing her to be herself again, throwing the egg costume, and the group beats the egg costume to death like that one kid in Lord of the Flies. Players head to their time machine to March of 1985 for WrestleGasm 85. Devins does a Hulk Hogan impression announcing they'll witness wrestling matches and answer questions about what they've seen. If they get answers wrong, they'll be eliminated. The last player standing will become the HOH champion of the world, brother. Kamu feels right at home with the fighting ring because he's a fighter back home and he's very concerned about his reputation. The headliner fighter is Jesse Pretty Boy Pectacular. Pretty Boy bounces his pecs and advertises his Pretty Boy protein powder. Jesse does a really impressive show wrestling some of his finest work, and with the help of his violent groupies, he wins the match. Players head to their quiz, ask questions about what they've seen. Dee and Taylor are eliminated in question 1, followed by Chuck, Drew, Angela, Melody, Jason, Haley, and Latrice. In question 5, everyone else gets it wrong besides Kamu, making Kamu the third head of household for the summer. He tells us he's going to protect the Red Corner and Toolshed alliances. Back in the present, players celebrate Kamu's win. Mallory knows she and her friends are on a short list for Kamu's nominations. Jason tells us he's not Jenny and doesn't want to go back to the block, but Kamu is already set on Mallory and Jason as nominees, and he's just looking for a third nomination. Dee and Angela feel safe. They just want to let Kamu do his thing. Angela thinks Drew was the one vote to keep Rome. These two have been suspicious of Drew and are ready for someone, even Kamu, to target Drew. But Drew and Kamu have a final two called the Handymen, so Drew is not going anywhere this week. Kamu tells Drew he's thinking of nominating Latrice. Kamu holds one-on-one meetings. First, Mallory. Mallory tells Kamu she'd nominate Jason, which is just telling him what she thinks he wants to hear, and that she'd target Dee and Devins because they're likely to get the next power. She shouldn't have answered Kamu's questions because he's ready to use everything she just said as reasons to nominate her. Next is Lyric, who lies to Kamu, telling Kamu that she's glad Rome is gone for her game, and downplays her relationship with Rome, even hinting to Kamu that she'd be into him because he's very holy just like her. Kamu tells Lyric he has no intentions of putting her on the block and tells her to just enjoy her week. She is relieved. Drew and Melody are flirting. She tells us she thinks that Drew is cute, but she doesn't want to have a showmance. They both say the same thing to us, but they are clearly in love, and we're shipping them. The other house guests are trying to make it happen. These two need to just kiss already. Am I right, ladies? I'll be keeping my eye on this. Until then, Devins finds out he's won the second time capsule. He'll play the same game Angela did, hoping to land on a power. Big bucks, no whammies to get that punishment. Devins gets started. He's looking for a pattern, which he allegedly sees. Landing on a power and winning the diamond power of veto, he'll be able to remove someone from the block and name the replacement nominee at the end of a veto meeting at one of the next 6 veto meetings. This is the best power available, especially compared to the other powers we saw on Friday, like the Never Not Pass. Devins plans to play a riskier game than even before and only tell Dee about his power. He tries to tell Dee sneakily, but it goes over her head, so he has to make it very clear. So they both know they are the most powerful players in the game with this power and commit to keeping it a secret even from Angela. Drew and Kamu meet again. Drew warns Kamu that Jason is good at competitions. If he nominates Jason up front, it gives Jason a chance to be safe in veto. He tells Kamu to try to backdoor Jason. So Kamu meets with Jason, telling Jason he's a comp threat and that he isn't going to nominate Jason today. Jason feels relieved in person, but in the diary room, Jason tells us he knows what Kamu is doing, and Selena is is coming to the ring, ready to fight, baby. And Kamu meets with Lyric, telling Lyric he's changed his mind and he's actually going to nominate her as a pawn. She begs him not to do it and pushes back on the nomination. She's not down. The conversation does not go well, so Kamu has a decision to make. So we head to Kamu's nomination ceremony where he nominates Lyric, Latrice, and Mallory for eviction this week. This week is off to a rough start. This guy Kamu is so tough, nominating two little girls and the older lady with the drag queen as his target. We didn't even get much reasoning in this episode or conversation to justify Latrice being nominated, besides Kamu telling us after the nomination that Latrice hasn't talked game to him all season. Kamu is a joke, if you ask me, and I'm sure it's going to get worse before it gets better. As I write this, he's planning to do something extremely stupid on the live feeds, so that's all I have to say about this episode for now. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the episode, and we can chat in the comments about the live feeds. If you like this video, consider liking and subscribing. I'll be back on Wednesday to recap the veto episode. Until next time, you know where to find me. Bye.